Hi everybody, this is Oleg. Welcome to Oregon Preparedness. Wonderful day here today in Northwest. 60 degrees, sun is shining, true spring. Feels almost like summertime. And everything seems like almost normal, I mean, there's less traffic on the roads, true story. But still, everything looks more or less normal. You read the news, you see United Airlines are adding extra international flights in May. Spain is resuming work in constructions in their factories. Although in China they are having seems like second wave of the virus. Seems like they have more cases now along the Russian southern border. And Russia is now on quarantine as well. So I mean, they're talking about lifting quarantine here too, sometime in the near future. First they said maybe by May, now who knows, maybe by June. We'll see what happens, but I think people are trying to make it normal. And it's not normal. And, while this first wave, it hit hard, obviously, but in my opinion, it's still, we haven't seen anything super hard yet. As I mentioned before, stores are still full of food, but food shortages are coming. All these food factories are, I'm sure, misfiring. They're not working on all their cylinders, all the food production, farmers, everybody. So that means that food is gonna become more scarce. Right now, all the food that we have in the stores are productions of a few months ago. So what I'm trying to say is, they even say that there will be second wave in the winter. That's gonna be harder. And obviously they know what they're talking about. There's no coincidence. How do they know? That's because they plan everything. They plan, in my opinion, I could be wrong, maybe it's conspiracy theorist within me, but they release so much of this virus out there to see people's reaction, to see how things will work. And second wave is gonna get hit harder, and they already know it because they know they're gonna release more of it. I mean, now that sailor from Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier is dead and over 500 infected. Once again, how did that virus get on that boat in the middle of the ocean? The answer is simple, in my opinion. Once again, they release it from airplanes, from many different ways. So it probably was released in the air and probably was flew down on that boat, as it does on many other islands and countries and so on and so forth. So we need to get more prepared, get that food while you still can, because when that second wave hits, it's gonna be for sure harder. They say it, and it's logical. People will barely catch a breath from the first wave, and the second wave, it's on the horizon. I mean, right now we are in April. They say sometime in the fall towards the winter. Oh, that's almost 6 months away, if that. So, especially if you're on a budget, I am on a sort of budget. I mean, I make decent money, but still, that money just disappears like water. So I'm trying hard to, put away some money. I'm trying hard to buy extra preps while I still can. I live in an apartment. I have a couple of small storages within my apartment unit in the apartment building, but I'm considering get another storage unit within my apartments. I don't want to get those public storages because if things will get really bad, those storage units might get vandalized by hungry hordes of people. At least I have a little bit more hope that, my apartment building that I live in, number one, it's all locked in. You gotta use one of those key fobs to get in. And storage units that are within building, they're inside. So unless somebody who lives there, and it's not really big unit, 40 some apartments, not smallest but not huge. It's like a hotel. You enter with a fob and no one else can enter unless you let them in. Additionally, the area where people have their storages, that area is also locked in. You cannot get without the fob. Plus each storage unit has a nice padlock, so in my opinion there is a little bit more safety in that than would be regular storage. You never know. The best if you live in a house, if you have a garage and whatever you can store in your house, in your apartment. Everything else outside of that is a risk, but you gotta take a risk. You can't have everything inside your apartment, so you are taking a risk. You are taking a risk no matter what you do. But in my opinion, if you live like me in an apartment, if you live in a house, it's a different story. You have more options. If you live in an apartment, space is limited. You have to really look and see things you have in your apartment. What's priority? I don't mean to say that you need to make your apartment looking like a warehouse, no. But perhaps you should get rid of some things and use that space for your preps, for your long-lasting food. Maybe add additional drawer cabinet or another big old storage cabinet, and instead of certain things that may not mean much when you're hungry, fill it up with food. Everybody's different, everybody's situation is different, but stop and think for a minute. What can you get rid of to make more space for food? And do it now while we still can prepare. Things are bad, but they will get worse. So get rid of things that you can't eat, that don't have too much value, that don't mean much, and fill those spots in your house, in your apartment, with food, with medicine, with water. Try to maintain your place looking like a place, a living space, not a warehouse. That's why I would recommend to get cabinets that have doors, no open shelves, because that will look awful and maybe you will get more stressed out of it. So get more ready. I will conclude on that because the second wave is coming. It's like a tsunami, There's first wave, then comes second tsunami. Hits even harder. I don't know how many waves of this coronavirus we're gonna have, or perhaps they're gonna release some other kind of virus. You never know. I think it's just the beginning of biological war, in my opinion, and I hope I'm wrong. So everybody take care. Thanks for watching to the end. Please, if you have any ideas, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and share this video if you find it useful, and subscribe if you haven't. When you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button next to it. That way you get notified when new videos come out, and I hear that YouTube functions better with that button also being pressed. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next upload. Take care.